Welcome to my channel. Today we focused on one simple but powerful idea. Reading for 30 days can quietly change your English. No pressure, no complicated methods, only one small daily habit. In this lesson, we learned that real progress does not come from doing many things at once. It comes from doing one thing regularly. Reading every day gives your mind a clear direction and removes confusion. We understood how your brain starts learning naturally when you read. In the beginning, it feels slow, but slowly your brain recognizes patterns, understands sentences faster, and becomes comfortable with English. This change does not happen loudly, but it happens deeply. We also learned that choosing the right material is very important. Simple and interesting texts keep you motivated and help you continue without stress. Today, we also saw how reading improves speaking even without speaking. Your mind collects sentences, builds ideas, and prepares you for real communication. We removed the fear of grammar by understanding that grammar can be learned naturally through reading, without memorizing rules. And finally, we learned how to stay consistent for 30 days with a simple system, a fixed time, an easy start, and a calm mindset. This lesson is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about showing up every day. Small steps, repeated daily, create real change. If you follow this simple habit, your English will slowly become stronger, clearer, and more natural. Chapter 1. I want to start this chapter with a simple but powerful truth. Change does not happen in one day, but it always starts in one day. And for you, that one day can be today. Many people want to learn English. They watch videos, they download apps, they buy books, and they feel excited in the beginning. But after some time, that excitement slowly disappears. They feel confused. They feel tired. They feel like nothing is working. If you have ever felt like this, you are not alone. I have seen thousands of students in my life, and most of them go through the same phase. The problem is not that English is too difficult. The real problem is that they try to do too many things at the same time. They try to learn grammar, speaking, vocabulary, pronunciation, everything together. Their mind becomes full, and slowly they stop. Now let me ask you one important question. What if you stop doing everything and focus on only one thing for the next 30 days? Only reading. No pressure to speak perfectly. No pressure to understand every grammar rule. Only one simple habit. Reading every day. This is where the magic of 30 days begins. When you give your mind a clear and simple goal, your mind becomes calm. You know exactly what to do. You wake up, you read. You have free time, you read. You go to sleep, you read. Life becomes simple. And when learning becomes simple, learning becomes possible. Another important thing about 30 days is that it feels real. When you think about learning English for 1 year, it feels long and difficult. Your brain says, "This is too much." But when you say, "I will read for 30 days," your brain says, "This is possible. I can do this." This small shift is very powerful. It removes fear. It builds confidence. It gives you a starting point. And once you start, everything begins to change slowly. In the first few days, you may feel slow. You may not understand everything. You may see many new words. This is completely normal. Do not stop. Do not judge yourself. Just continue, because something important is happening inside your brain. Even if you do not see it, your brain is learning. It is observing patterns. It is connecting words. It is getting used to English. This is the beginning of real learning. Not loud, not dramatic, but quiet and deep. Now let us talk about discipline. Many people think they need motivation to learn English. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel excited. But motivation is not always there. Some days you feel good. Some days you feel lazy. If you depend only on motivation, you will stop. This is why 30 days is important. It builds discipline. Discipline means you do it even when you do not feel like doing it. You sit down and read even when your mind says not today. This is how strong learners are made, not by talent, but by consistency. During these 30 days, something else will also start to change. Your relationship with English. Right now, maybe English feels like a subject, something difficult, something stressful. But when you read every day, English becomes part of your life. It becomes normal. You stop feeling afraid. You start feeling comfortable. This emotional change is very important. Because when fear goes down, learning goes up. You will also start noticing small wins. Maybe today you understand one sentence. Tomorrow you understand 2 sentences. Next week you understand a full paragraph. These small wins are very powerful. They build your confidence step by step. Many learners quit because they look for big results quickly. But real success comes from small progress repeated every day. 30 days is enough to show you that progress is real. There is also something very special about commitment. When you say, "I will read for 30 days," you are making a promise to yourself. And when you keep this promise, you start trusting yourself more. You start believing that you can improve. This belief is very important. Because once you believe in yourself, you stop making excuses. You stop saying English is difficult. You start saying, "I am learning." Another important point is this. In these 30 days, you are not trying to be perfect. You are only trying to be regular. Perfection creates pressure. Regularity creates progress. If you miss one day, do not stop. Continue the next day. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to stay connected with English. Every day you read, you are building a strong habit. And habits are more powerful than short bursts of effort. Let me also tell you something very honest. These 30 days will not make you perfect in English, but they will change your direction. Right now, maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you feel confused. But after 30 days, you will feel different. You will feel more confident. You will feel more comfortable. You will feel like you are moving forward. And that feeling is everything. So in this chapter, I want you to understand one clear message. 30 days is not just a time period. It is a decision. It is a fresh start. It is a simple plan that can change everything if you follow it honestly. You do not need to be smart. You do not need to be fast. You only need to be consistent. One day at a time. One page at a time. In the next chapter, I will show you something very interesting. I will explain what really happens inside your brain when you read every day for 30 days. Once you understand this, your motivation will become stronger. You will not read because someone told you. You will read because you understand the power behind it. Stay with me. Chapter 2. In the previous chapter, we talked about why 30 days can become a powerful starting point for your English journey. Now in this chapter, I want to take you inside your brain. I want to show you what is really happening when you read every day for 30 days. Because once you understand this, something changes. You stop doubting yourself. You stop asking, am I improving? You start trusting the process. Let me begin with a simple idea. Your brain is always learning, even when you feel like nothing is happening. This is very important to understand. Many students think learning must feel big and exciting. They think they must feel improvement every day. But real learning is quiet. It happens slowly, step by step, without noise. In the first few days of reading, your brain feels uncomfortable. You see many new words. Sentences feel strange. Sometimes you understand, sometimes you do not. You may feel slow, you may feel confused. But this is not a bad sign. This is actually a very good sign. It means your brain is waking up. It is seeing something new. It is trying to understand a new system. This stage is called adjustment. Your brain is adjusting to English. During this stage, something very powerful starts happening. Your brain begins to notice patterns. At first, you do not realize it. You only see words. But your brain is looking deeper. It starts seeing how words connect. It starts seeing how sentences are built. For example, you may see a simple sentence again and again. Slowly, your brain says, "This looks familiar. This is how English works. This is the beginning of natural learning." Now let us move a few days forward. Around the end of the first week, something interesting happens. Some words that looked new before now feel familiar. You do not need to stop and think too much. Your eyes see the word, and your brain understands it faster. This is called recognition. This is how vocabulary grows naturally. You are not memorizing words from a list. You are meeting them again and again in real situations. This makes your memory stronger. Another change that happens is speed of understanding. At the beginning, you may translate everything into your own language. This is normal. But after a few days, your brain starts reducing this habit. You begin to understand small parts directly in English. This is a big step. It means your brain is slowly learning to think in English. And when you start thinking in English, everything becomes easier. Now let us talk about the second week. This is where many learners feel a small but powerful shift. English starts feeling less heavy, less scary. You still see new words, but you are not afraid of them. You continue reading without stopping too much. Your brain is becoming more comfortable. Comfort is very important for learning. When you feel relaxed, your brain learns faster. When you feel stressed, your brain blocks learning. During this time, your brain also starts building connections. Words are not just words anymore. They have meaning, emotion, and context. For example, when you read a story, you connect words with situations. This makes learning deeper. You remember better because your brain understands the meaning, not just the word. Now let us move to the third week. This is where things become exciting. Your reading becomes smoother. You stop less. You understand more. Sometimes you read a full paragraph without any problem. And suddenly you realize something. You are reading English, and you are understanding it. This moment is very powerful. It gives you confidence. It tells you that your effort is working. Another important change in this stage is focus. When you read every day, you are training your brain to concentrate. In today's world, this is not easy. There are many distractions, phones, messages, videos. But when you sit and read for 30 minutes, your brain learns to stay in one place. This focus helps you learn faster. It also helps you in other areas of life. There is also emotional growth happening. At the beginning, you may feel fear. Fear of not understanding. Fear of making mistakes. But after reading for many days, this fear becomes smaller. You feel more relaxed. You feel more confident. You start enjoying the process. This emotional change is very important because when you enjoy learning, you continue learning. Now we come to the final days of the 30-day journey. By this time, your brain has changed in many ways. You recognize more words. You understand sentences faster. You feel comfortable with English. You trust yourself more. You are not perfect, but you are not the same person who started. This is the power of consistency. Let me tell you something very important. Many learners stop just before this stage. They read for a few days, they feel slow, and they quit. They never reach this powerful moment. But if you continue, if you trust the process, you will reach this stage. And once you reach it, your motivation becomes natural. You do not need anyone to push you. You want to continue. Another hidden benefit of these 30 days is this. Your brain becomes more flexible. It becomes better at learning new things. This means future learning becomes easier. Whether it is speaking, listening, or writing, everything improves faster because your foundation is strong. So in this chapter, I want you to remember one key idea. When you read every day for 30 days, your brain is changing quietly. You may not see it every day, but it is happening. Trust this process. Do not rush. Do not compare yourself with others. Your journey is your own. In the next chapter, I will help you with a very practical question. What should you read in these 30 days? Because the right choice can make your journey easy and enjoyable, and the wrong choice can make it difficult. Stay with me. Chapter 3. Now we come to one of the most important parts of this journey. What should you read in these 30 days? This question looks simple, but it can decide your success or your failure. Many learners start with excitement, but they choose the wrong material. After a few days, they feel bored, confused, or tired, and they stop. I do not want this to happen to you. I want you to enjoy this journey and stay till the end. So listen carefully, because this chapter can change everything for you. Let me start with a simple rule. Do not read to impress anyone. Read to understand and enjoy. Many beginners make a big mistake. They choose difficult books because they think difficult means better. They pick big novels or advanced articles. On the first day, they feel excited. On the second day, they feel slow. On the third day, they feel frustrated. And after 1 week, they stop. This is not because they are weak. This is because the material is wrong. In these 30 days, your goal is not to show how smart you are. Your goal is to build confidence. And confidence comes from understanding. So you must choose something simple. Something that you can understand easily. Something that makes you feel good when you read. This is very important. Because when you feel good, your brain opens. When your brain opens, learning becomes fast and natural. Now let me give you a clear guideline. You should understand most of what you read. Around 80% is perfect. This means you may see some new words, but you can still understand the main idea. If you understand everything, it is too easy. If you understand very little, it is too difficult. Balance is the key. You should feel a little challenge, but not stress. So what can you read? The best option for beginners is short and simple stories. Stories are powerful because they create curiosity. You want to know what happens next. This keeps you reading. And when you keep reading, you keep learning. You can also read simple articles about daily life. Topics like food, travel, habits, or personal stories are very helpful. If you enjoy the topic, you will not feel like you are studying. You will feel like you are exploring. Another great option is graded readers. These are books written specially for learners. They use simple vocabulary and clear sentences. They are designed to help you grow step by step. You do not need to jump to advanced books. Start small. Grow slowly. This is the smart way. Now let us talk about new words, because this is where many learners get stuck. When you read, you will see words you do not know. This is normal. Do not panic. Do not stop every minute. If you stop too much, you break your flow. Reading becomes slow and boring. Instead, try to guess the meaning from the sentence. If the word is very important, you can look it up quickly and continue. But do not try to remember every word. Your brain does not need that pressure. Many students ask me, should I write new words in a notebook? My answer is simple. In these 30 days, focus on reading, not collecting. When you read regularly, important words come again and again. This repetition helps your brain remember naturally. Writing every word can make reading feel like hard work. And when reading feels like hard work, you will stop. Now let us talk about speed. Some learners feel worried because they read slowly. They compare themselves with others. They think slow reading is bad. But this is not true. Slow reading is good, especially in the beginning. It means you are paying attention. It means you are thinking. It means your brain is working. Speed will come with time. You do not need to force it. Trust your pace. Another powerful tip is this. Try to read similar types of content for a few days. For example, if you start with short stories, continue with short stories for some time. This helps your brain become familiar with vocabulary and sentence patterns. Familiarity makes reading easier. And when reading becomes easier, you feel more confident. Let me also tell you something very important. Do not turn reading into a test. You are not reading to prove anything. You are reading to build a relationship with English. Some days you will understand more, some days less. This is normal. Do not judge yourself. Just continue. Every day you read, you are moving forward. Another mistake learners make is changing materials too quickly. Today one book, tomorrow another book, next day something else. This creates confusion. Your brain needs time to adjust, so choose one type of material and stay with it for some time. Give your brain a chance to settle and learn. Now imagine this. You sit in a comfortable place. You open a simple story. You start reading. At first it feels slow, but after a few minutes, you get into the flow. You understand the situation. You follow the story. You feel curious. You want to continue. This is the feeling you are looking for. This is where real learning happens. So in this chapter, I want you to remember 3 simple things. Choose easy material. Choose interesting material. And stay consistent with it. That is all you need. Do not make it complicated. Simple actions done daily create powerful results. In the next chapter, I will show you something very surprising. I will explain how reading for 30 days can improve your speaking, even if you are not speaking at all. This idea changes how many learners see reading. And once you understand it, your motivation will become even stronger. Stay with me. Chapter 4. Now I want to talk about something that surprises many learners. Many people believe that if you want to speak English, you must speak from the first day. They think speaking is the only way to improve speaking. But let me ask you one honest question. Have you ever tried to speak and felt stuck? Words in your mind but not coming out. Sentences breaking in the middle. Fear, hesitation, silence. If yes, then this chapter is for you. Because here is the truth. Speaking becomes easy when your mind is ready. And reading is what prepares your mind. When you read every day for 30 days, something powerful happens inside you. You may not notice it immediately, but it is building step by step. Let me explain this in a very simple way. When you read, you are not just seeing words. You are absorbing sentences. You are seeing how ideas are expressed in English. You are learning how words connect with each other. This is very important, because speaking is not about knowing single words. Speaking is about connecting words into meaningful sentences. Many beginners make a common mistake. They learn words, but they do not know how to use them. They know the meaning of the word, but when they try to speak, they stop. They think too much. They try to translate from their own language. This makes speaking slow and stressful. Reading helps you solve this problem. When you read regularly, your brain starts storing complete sentences. Not just words, but full expressions. For example, you read a sentence again and again. Slowly, your brain remembers it. Later, when you speak, that sentence comes to your mind naturally. You do not need to create it from zero. This makes speaking faster and smoother. Now let us talk about translation. Many learners translate every sentence in their mind. First in their own language, then into English. This takes time. This creates pressure. This is one of the biggest reasons why speaking feels difficult. But when you read daily, your brain slowly reduces this habit. You start understanding English directly. And when you understand directly, you can also speak more directly. This is a big transformation. Another important change is confidence. Confidence does not come from forcing yourself to speak loudly. Confidence comes from understanding. When you read and understand, you feel good. You feel capable. You feel like, yes, I can do this. This feeling is very important because when you believe in yourself, you speak with less fear. Let me share something very real. Many students say, I am shy, I cannot speak. But the truth is, most of them are not shy. They are just not ready. Their mind does not have enough English input. So when they try to speak, they feel empty. Reading fills this gap. It gives your mind the input it needs. And when your mind is full, speaking becomes natural. Now let us talk about something very interesting. Your inner voice. When you read, you are not completely silent. Inside your mind, you hear the words. You create a voice. This is called your inner voice. At the beginning, this voice may not be very accurate. But as you read more, this voice becomes clearer and more natural. This helps your pronunciation. Later, when you speak, your words sound better because your brain already knows how English sounds. Another benefit of reading is fluency. Many learners think fluency means speaking fast, but that is not true. Fluency means speaking smoothly. It means speaking without too many stops. Reading helps you with this. When you read regularly, you become familiar with common phrases. These phrases stay in your mind. When you speak, they come out easily. You do not stop too much. You do not think too much. You just express your ideas. Reading also gives you something very important. Ideas. Many beginners do not speak because they do not know what to say. They sit in silence, not because they do not know English, but because they do not have ideas. Reading solves this problem. When you read stories, articles, or simple texts, you get ideas. You learn about situations. You learn about experiences. Later, you can talk about these things. This makes speaking easier and more meaningful. Let me also tell you something very honest. You do not need to rush into speaking from the first day. Many learners feel pressure. They think if they are not speaking, they are not learning. This is not true. Speaking is the result, not the beginning. Reading prepares you. It builds your base. And when your base is strong, your speaking becomes strong. But this does not mean you should never speak. It means you should speak at the right time. After reading for some days, you can start small. You can read a sentence aloud. You can repeat what you read. You can summarize a short story in simple words. These small steps connect reading with speaking. And slowly, you become more comfortable. Another important point is this: reading removes fear. When you spend time with English every day, English stops feeling strange. It becomes familiar. And when something is familiar, you are not afraid of it. This is how reading builds courage. Quietly, slowly, but powerfully. Now imagine yourself after 30 days. You have read every day. You have seen hundreds of sentences. You have understood many ideas. Do you think your speaking will be the same as before? No. It will be different. It will be better. Not perfect, but stronger, smoother, and more confident. So in this chapter, I want you to understand one powerful idea. You are not wasting time when you read. You are preparing yourself for speaking. Every page you read is helping your future conversations. Every sentence you understand is building your speaking ability. In the next chapter, we will talk about grammar. Many learners fear grammar, but I will show you how reading for 30 days can improve your grammar naturally without stress and without memorizing long rules. Stay with me. Chapter 5. Now we come to a topic that makes many learners nervous: grammar. The moment students hear this word, they feel pressure. They remember long rules, difficult explanations, and many mistakes marked in red. Some learners even feel fear before they start. Let me tell you something very clearly. Grammar is not your enemy. And in these 30 days, you are not going to fight with grammar. You are going to understand it in a calm and natural way. Let me ask you one simple question. How did you learn your first language? Did you sit with a grammar book when you were a child? Did you memorize rules before speaking? No. You listened. You observed. You repeated. Your brain learned patterns without stress. The same thing can happen with English, and reading is one of the best ways to make it happen. When you read every day, you are not just reading words. You are seeing correct English again and again. Every sentence you read is written with proper grammar. Every paragraph follows natural structure. Without realizing it, your brain starts noticing these patterns. It starts learning what sounds right and what sounds wrong. This is called natural grammar learning. Many learners try to memorize grammar rules. They read definitions. They try to remember formulas. But after some time, they forget. Why does this happen? Because rules without context are difficult for the brain. The brain does not like isolated information. It prefers meaning. It prefers connection. Reading gives you that connection. You see grammar in real sentences. You see how it is used in real situations. This makes it easier to understand and remember. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you read a sentence like, "She goes to school every day." You see this type of sentence many times. Slowly, your brain understands that when we talk about daily habits, we use this structure. You may not know the name of the rule. You may not say present simple tense, but you understand how to use it. This is powerful, because in real life, communication is more important than naming rules. Another important idea is this: grammar is not about perfection. Grammar is about clarity. It helps you express your ideas clearly. When you read, you see how grammar makes sentences easy to understand. You learn how to ask questions. You learn how to make negative sentences. You learn how to describe things. All of this happens naturally when you read. Now let us talk about mistakes. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. This fear stops them from speaking. It stops them from trying. But when you read regularly, something interesting happens. You start recognizing correct sentences. And when you see incorrect sentences, they feel strange. This feeling is very important. It helps you correct yourself without thinking too much. This is how confident speakers are made. Another benefit of reading is that it reduces confusion. Many grammar books give you too many rules at the same time. This can make your mind tired. But reading gives you grammar step by step. You learn slowly. You learn naturally. You learn without pressure. This makes learning enjoyable. Some learners ask me, should I stop studying grammar completely? My answer is simple. You do not need to stop, but you do not need to focus on it too much in these 30 days. Let reading be your main teacher. Later, if you study grammar rules, they will make more sense, because your brain has already seen these patterns many times. It is like meeting an old friend. You recognize it easily. Now let us talk about confidence again. When you understand grammar naturally, your confidence grows. You do not feel afraid of speaking. You do not stop after every word. You speak more freely. This is very important for beginners, because confidence is the key to communication. Another important point is patience. Grammar learning through reading is not fast, but it is strong. You may not see big changes in 1 week, but after 30 days, you will notice something. Your sentences will feel more natural. Your understanding will be better. You will make fewer mistakes. And the best part is, you will not feel stressed. Let me also tell you something very honest. Many learners spend months studying grammar but still cannot speak confidently. Why? Because they focus only on rules, not on usage. Reading solves this problem. It shows you how grammar works in real life. It connects rules with meaning. And this is what you need. Now imagine this. You read every day for 30 days. You see hundreds of correct sentences. Your brain absorbs these patterns. Slowly, you start using them, without memorizing, without forcing. This is the beauty of reading. It makes learning simple. So in this chapter, I want you to remember one powerful idea. Grammar is not something you need to fight. It is something you can understand naturally through reading. Every page you read is teaching you grammar. Quietly, gently, effectively. In the next chapter, we will talk about the most important part of this journey: how to complete these 30 days successfully. Because knowing is not enough. You must take action. And I will show you how to make this habit strong, simple, and lasting. Stay with me. Chapter 6. Now we come to the most important part of this journey: action. You have understood everything. You know why 30 days matter. You know what happens inside your brain. You know what to read. You know how reading improves speaking and grammar. But here is the truth. Knowledge alone will not change your English. Only action will. And not just one day of action, but consistent action for 30 days. Let me ask you one honest question. How many times have you felt motivated, started something new, and then stopped after a few days? Maybe many times. This is normal. It happens to almost everyone. The problem is not that you are lazy. The problem is that you do not have a simple system. In this chapter, I will give you a simple system that you can follow easily. First, fix your time. This is very important. Do not read only when you feel like it. Feelings change every day. Instead, choose a fixed time. It can be in the morning after you wake up. It can be during your break. It can be at night before you sleep. The exact time is not important. What matters is consistency. When you read at the same time every day, your brain starts expecting it. Slowly, it becomes a habit. You do not need to force yourself. It becomes automatic. Second, create a simple reading space. You do not need a perfect environment. You do not need a big table or a quiet library. You only need a small place where you can sit comfortably for 30 minutes. It can be your bed. It can be a chair. It can even be a quiet corner in your home. The goal is comfort. When you feel comfortable, you can focus better. Third, make it easy to start. Many learners fail because starting feels difficult. They do not know what to read. They waste time searching. Then they lose interest. Do not let this happen. Keep your reading material ready. Save your story on your phone. Keep your book near your bed. Make the first step very easy. When starting is easy, continuing becomes easy. Now let us talk about something very important. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel busy. Some days you will feel lazy. This is normal. But remember this. You are not reading because you feel good. You are reading because you made a decision. Discipline means you continue even when you do not feel like it. This is where real change happens. Another powerful tip is flexibility. If 30 minutes feels long in the beginning, you can divide it. You can read 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. You can even start with 10 minutes and slowly increase. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to stay consistent. Even a small effort every day is better than a big effort once a week. Now let us talk about enjoyment. If reading feels like a burden, you will stop. So make it enjoyable. Choose something you like. Sit in a relaxed position. Do not rush. Do not treat it like an exam. This is your personal time with English. The more you enjoy it, the longer you will continue. Another very powerful idea is tracking your progress. You can do this in a very simple way. Take a notebook or even your phone. Mark each day you complete your reading. Just a small tick mark. After a few days, you will see a chain. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3. This chain becomes your motivation. You will not want to break it. This is a simple but powerful trick. Let me also talk about patience. Many learners expect fast results. They want to see big improvement in a few days. But learning does not work like this. Some days you will feel progress. Some days you will feel nothing. Both are normal. Do not stop. Trust the process. Every day you read, you are building something strong inside your mind. Now imagine yourself at the end of 30 days. You look back and realize that you did not miss many days. You stayed consistent. You read again and again. You understand more than before. You feel more comfortable. You feel more confident. This feeling is powerful. It tells you that you can do it. It changes how you see yourself. And here comes the most important moment. After 30 days, do not stop. This is not the end. This is the beginning. These 30 days are only to build the habit. Once the habit is strong, you continue. You move to day 31, day 32, day 100. This is how English becomes part of your life. Another beautiful thing about this habit is that it grows with you. At the beginning, you read simple texts. After some time, you move to slightly difficult texts. Your level improves naturally. You do not feel pressure. You feel growth. This is the right way to learn. Let me give you one final thought. Your future English depends on your daily actions, not your plans, not your dreams, but what you do every day. If you read for 30 minutes every day, your English will improve. This is not a guess. This is a fact. Thousands of learners have done it. You can do it too. So now I want you to make a simple decision. Not a big promise, just a small decision. Starting today, I will read every day. Even if it is difficult, even if I am tired, I will continue. Because this small habit can change my future. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be fast. You only need to be consistent, one day at a time, one page at a time. And slowly, you will see a big change. Now this is your moment. Will you start your 30 days today?